This
that I have
conference
to
will
share
now
real
be
quickly.
recorded.
Okay, so we are good there. They are now, we are recording this. All right, so like we said, moving forward, we have the same goal, and that's to continue to profit. Start it off like we do, let's rewind. And the only way we do that is by going over results. And we had a bad week, that much I'm sure of. So let me go into these results. This is the first time that I'm looking at it this week, because again, I try not to let that affect me day by day. If I looked at my leaderboard results every day, forget it. It would be so foolish of me. All right, so let's start it off. Remember, we don't look at the last 3 days because the sample size is too small. So let's go to last 7 days at least, and I've probably got minus 29.6 units. For a negative 18% ROI. Fortunately, I can't sustain that either. So 29.6 units, let's just round it off. I lost 30 units. Remember, we're betting 0.25. So that's about 7.5 positions that we lost. That's a lot. It's about position a day. Nothing to be proud of. I'm not going to make any excuse. What I'm going to tell you is you're sweating if you overbet. If you didn't overbet, you're not sweating. If it was your first week, I apologize. All I can tell you is I hope you bet sized correctly, because if you did, you're fine. Sit back, relax, and let the market give you what it's been giving us. That's all you have to do is exercise patience. The rest will take care of itself. Just keep doing the right thing. And let me explain why. Because now we're going to look at the last 30 days. And over the last 30 days, I'm up plus 20 units. We know we and plus 3.7 ROI. Again, it's been a last 7 days, bad 7 days. So it's really dented that last 30, and yet still up 20 units. What are 20 units if we're betting a quarter? 5. So we're up 5 positions. Listen, that isn't the best month, but it's a winning month. And any month you could add profit is a good month in a very difficult endeavor. Again, some months are going to be great. Some months we will lose. And when the dust settles is what ultimately matters. That's what I'm trying to get across more than anything, that we will lose. Everyone loses. The difference is we manage risk correctly. So when we win, we end up profiting overall because we have information and the ability to win more than we lose and overcome the house edge. Something less than 1% of sports bettors on the planet can say and back up with documented results. I know everybody says they win. I know everybody will tell you they have positive lifetime at betting sports and how they're up, but very few are going to be able to document it and show that. Trust me, I've been doing it a very long time. And more importantly, I'm in an industry with supposedly the best sports bettors on the planet. And it's the same. 99 out of 100 pick sellers also lose money long-term, which is why they won't go over their long-term results. But that's what we do here. And over this year, we are now at plus 274 units, 274 units for a 4.6, 4.7% ROI. Like I said, 5 is the goal. If you could do 5, 1.5, 2 is the goal if you're an advantage player. But I know long-term in sports, the network I work with, we could pull off a 5% ROI, meaning out of every dollar we bet, we expect to make 5 cents. So the faster we put that dollars into work, the faster we're going to make money. That's simply how it works. The sports book, on the other hand, they have about a 5% hold as well. So they know the exact same math. They're going to make 5 cents out of every dollar. But because bettors parlay, because bettors take the worst of it, they end up doing a little bit better than that. Upwards of 7, 8, 9% at times is their hold. So you got to remember, we have to overcome their 4.5% built-in edge because we have to lay 11 to win 10. We're always paying admission to place a bet. Whether we're taking the dog or the favorite, we're laying 11 to win 10 pretty much every single time on average. And because of that, we have to overcome that 4.5% edge. So what we're ultimately doing is overcoming that 4.5% edge and turning a 4.5%, 5% profit on top of that. You're not going to do better than that over 2,000 bets. It's very, very hard to do. If you could find someone on the internet that's doing it, I swear to God, I will buy their subscription and use their information. That's valuable to me. If someone has a 2,000 bet sample size and a 5% ROI, I will pay for their subscription. I will pay 2x what anyone's paying mine because I know how few are out there. It's that valuable to me, seriously. So if you know anyone that actually has that, I want their information and I will go through it and share the best stuff with you guys like I do with the other betting syndicates and sources of information that I work with. So what does 274 units mean? Remember, I broke this down. Just go simply to my Twitter at Greek_gambler. And what did I do? I broke down the math and I showed that even with, it doesn't matter the bankroll, whether you have a $1,000 bankroll, $5,000 bankroll, $10,000 bankroll. If you are bet sizing the way I'm telling you, you're up around 70% on that bankroll. So let's do it. If you have a $5,000 bankroll, you're betting $25, excuse me, per unit. We're up 272 times $25, 68, sorry, 68% on that. 6,800, wow, at $25 a unit. We're on 10 grand. Yeah, 7,000 is on 10,000. Yeah, close to 70%, exactly. So it doesn't matter. And here's what I want to add real quickly, because this is the nonsense you deal with from the novice bettors that don't understand the math behind it. Because when I broke it down for a $1,000 bankroll, someone asked me, what would you have made if I only had a $1,000 bankroll? And I said, let's do the math. With a $1,000 bankroll, based on my recommendations, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25. Let's go. Let's do the exercises now. Let's get the stretches out of the way over the next 10 minutes so then we could get into the games that are going off tonight. So we got the last week out of the way. We got the last 30 days out of the way. And we got this year out of the way. If you've managed risk correctly, you're not sweating. If you overbet last week, you're sweating. So you have two options. Chase, in which case the probabilities are higher that you will go broke, or cover up that hole, correct, don't repeat, promise yourself you won't let that happen to you again, and wake up tomorrow and do it the right way. And no harm, no foul. All you did is learn something. But if you repeat that process of overbetting, of getting in a hole, of losing more than you should have when Ace has a bad week, then I can't help you. Our goals are not aligned. You're gambling, I'm investing. And everyone in this room needs to be here to invest. If you need to gamble, I'm telling you, DM me, fly into Vegas anytime you like, bring your bankroll, and I will gamble it with you. We could fire at the sports book. We could play blackjack. I'll fucking gamble your money. I have no problems gambling your money with you. Bring it. Let's go. Let's roll the dice and let's try to make a score. But that's not what I'm doing here, okay? Because I'm charging a subscription price not for my picks, not for my steam, but for my results. I'm going to produce winning results. So if you manage risk correctly, you will also. If you lost the last 7 days because I lost more than you should have, there is time for you to correct instead of repeat. That day is today. You could choose to do the right thing and make money with us because we're going to win. When December 31st rolls around, we will win more than we are today. Now, I can't guarantee that, but I say we're the favorite based on history. And the bottom line is, right now we're chopping, and this correction is actually a good thing. You need a correction. You can't go straight up. That means you're defying probability. When I defy probability, I get nervous. I know that's not sustainable. When I see that over 30 days, when my ROI is 15, 20, 25%, I know what's coming. It doesn't mean I'm going to get buried, but it means a correction is coming somehow, some way, whether that means slowly a little down or a bad day like last Saturday where I run into a wall. Either way, the correction will come because we're not defying probability. We actually have an edge. And I think the fact we've placed already 1,900 bets and are profitable with a 5% ROI proves that. So please do the right thing and you will make money. Let's do the calisthenics. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25 of the bankroll. That's it. That's it. No more, no less. So that means if you have a $1,000 bankroll, you're only betting $2.50 per unit. On a 4% play, you're betting $10 to win 10 on a favor or to lose 10 on a favor. Unfortunately, with that $1,000, if you started with me January 1st, not unfortunately, it's actually a beautiful thing. You're up around $680, which is great, almost 70% on your 1,000. But that's not profitable based on your subscription. That's why I'm being honest with my people in this room. Okay, this isn't for everyone. This is for those that have a little bit of capital, want to actually find an investment where they're going to grow their capital and is a scalable investment. Meaning, if you have a $5,000 bankroll, a $5,000 bankroll this year, and next year it's $7,500, and 2 years later it's $20,000. This is an investment that's scalable. You can bet, you will be betting more. You can profit more. Doesn't have a ceiling. That's the beauty of it. That's why I'm telling you, you need to just exercise patience. The time's going to pass anyway. Do you remember what happened last year? An entire football season. It's been a whole year since last football season. The time's passed. Now, if since last year you haven't done the right thing, a whole other year you wasted. A whole other year since last football season of doing it the wrong way. So let's not do that. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25. It's easily that simple. You already choose what your unit size is and you don't adjust. The only time you change that is if you add to your bankroll, meaning outside capital, or every year, like we like to do. Some of you do it every 6 months. That's okay too. Or up or down 50%. Then we have to readjust. And I'm in here with you, so I will let you know if that happens. Okay? If that ever happens. Until then, you have no reason to ever even do the math again. You do it the first day, you have a $5,000 bankroll, you write down what it is, and that's what you're betting constantly. And guess what? Anyone that did that, they didn't sweat last week. Sure, they weren't happy. Yeah, they gave some profit back, but they didn't dig a hole for themselves. This is nothing for me to recover. I'm chopping right now. We went straight up a little faster than we should have. We hit a 20-1 or whatever it was, freaking NASCAR race. We hit a bunch of winning days in a row where we couldn't lose, and it just seemed so easy. And I kept reminding you in this room that this is not the norm where you just win every day. And that's not to dissuade anyone. If anything, that's to ensure you that everything's normal. Nothing's changed. This is how it goes over a year, over 5 years. You're going to go like this, but what we're doing is, you see we're going up. Just scroll back on my Twitter. 3 months ago, we were probably up 150 units, 200 units. Now we're up to set. We got to 300. Then we pulled back just like we did when we got to 100. We were at 70, 80, 90. We got to 120. We pulled back under 100. Then we started moving up to 150, got to 170, pulled back below, back. Ooh, he's back to 140. Then back up to 200, over 200. Then we pulled back again. That's all this is. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. What happens is those that overbet never get to experience the good. They only experience the bad. And I am so confused that in 2023, this is still happening. And here's what I mean. Recreational bettors are still buying at the worst possible times. And I don't understand it. Like, when I have a cold week, instead of that's when people should be signing up, that's when they don't. And instead, like when I have in my hottest, and at my hottest, I'll see so many people rushing to sign up. Dude, what are you doing? Like, we're at the peak. You're buying me at the peak. Like, why would you do that? Why would it, like, why do you want to keep FOMOing into shit? Like, what's the fear of missing out? You want to catch the hot hand? That makes no sense to me. I never understood that. And still in 2023, they just want whoever's winning today. That's just so crazy. If anything, I want a winning bettor who hasn't outperformed the market because I know what's coming. Like someone that's defied probability, like it's only going to go backwards from there. So please, 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 don't fall for that nonsense. Don't let a week, a month change your long-term goals, because I see it happen to so many people. You see it every year with exercising and getting healthy. January 1st, baby, everyone's at the gym. Go drive by your gym. You're going to see more cars in there the first week of January than ever before. The second week of January, the third week of January. But for some reason, when in February, the dude don't look like Arnold Schwarzenegger and the broad don't look like a perfect 10, I ain't doing this shit no more. It doesn't work. Are you serious? Are you serious? So please, have the right mentality. I already know you have the right mentality. You need to keep the right mentality because you will get tested. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. It's not easy. It's difficult, but it's easily doable if you have the network and the information, and you have that at your disposal. Because I put in the work to do that, 20, 30 plus years. And all you have to do is be sharp enough to take that information and use it the right way. And in fact, something I'd never done before, I did here. I shared my bet sizing strategy that helped me go from net worth in my pocket to I don't ever have to sell picks again within a decade of just doing it the right way, of betting this bet sizing, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1.25, 1.0, 1.25. And I get it, over small sample sizes, there will be better ways, whether they flat bet, whether you do everything as 1%, whether that's fine. If you want to do that, if you're more comfortable with that, that's fine. What I'm asking is make sure you stay disciplined and don't change that based on how things are running short term. My way has proven to me over the last decade to work year after year after year, where not only did I maximize profit, but I minimized my losses. Because when I'm running cold, I'm not betting 4% plays, 5% plays. You see that how I manage our risk, how I manage our accounts. This is all by design. I don't want you to lose more than you should. And I want the wins to be real, not us defying probability. And that's why I'm saying, When you see us going up too fast, be happy. That's all profit. That's ours. That's yours in your pocket. The only way to get that back is if you overbet. But expect a little pullback. Expect a little correction. Don't put that in your head that every month it's just going to go straight up, up, up. You're setting yourself up for failure. We're doing great. We're doing great. And more importantly, you're doing great. You're in that 1% that's actually making money betting sports. It's a great thing. And you're going to continue making money because here comes football. Now, let me see some questions so that we don't get too behind. 1 unit is equivalent to 1% of bankroll or 0.25. Each percent of a rating, 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5% play is 0.25. So a 1% play is 0.25. A 2% play is 0.50. A 3% play is 0.75. A 4% play is 1%. And a 5% play is 1.25. We're never betting more than 1.25% of our bankroll. So if we have a $10,000 bankroll, we're never betting more than $125. Isn't that a beautiful thing? We never have to sweat. You already see, just by betting that way, you'd be up 68% on your $10,000, and we're only 7 months completed. You don't have to take big chances to make money. You don't. Base hits. Remember, we're getting to the Hall of Fame like Tony Gwynn. Base hits, base hits, base hits. Is Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame? I don't think so. You don't get there just by hitting home runs. Because you aim for home runs, you're going to strike out a lot. The biggest strikeout artists are the home run hitters. It's all or bust. It's not how you want to bet sports, Steve. It's not how you want to invest. We've covered all that before. I don't need to go long, but we do need to cover this each and every week because you need to keep me sharp. Like I told you, I screw up sometimes too. I still do. I still at times have to remind myself that you cost yourself some money because you broke your own rule. And these are my rules and I still break them. I'm being honest. I tell it like it is. I keep it real. I'm human. I'm like you, like anyone else. I'm not special, dude. I'm not special. I'm just like you. I make mistakes. I have the same temptations. I have the same demons. We all have them. But I've trained myself to be disciplined enough to do the right things 99% of the time. So I've minimized the damage. I've self-inflicted wounds. If you can minimize your self-inflicted wounds, you're way ahead of the game. And in this venture that you're in right now, the only way you'll hurt yourself is with self-inflicted wounds. If you're underfunded or overbetting, or don't employ patience. If you can employ patience, are funded, and don't overbet, follow our bet size, you'll make money, you'll grow your bankroll, and each and every year, your bet size will grow. It's mathematical certainty. The only thing that could stop you is you. That's just the bottom line. That's not opinion. That's fact. And I brought receipts because there's about 6,000 bets of results documented over since 2015 or so. I just want to confirm, when you play, say, Packers +3 for 3 units, that's to win 3 units, correct? Because we're assuming -110. Yes, when we're laying the favorite, that's factored into my results. If I lose a 3% play at -110, I lose 3.3. I don't lose 3, I lose 3.3. If it's -120, I lose 3.6 units. I don't lose 3 units. So we're flat betting, or we're flat betting dogs, and we're betting to win favorites. That's how I do it. Again, like I said, there's a lot of sharp guys in this call. There's guys that have a $500,000 bankroll. I met them, so I know that. There's some serious people in this room, some very smart people in this room. If you find a way that is more profitable for you, do it. Follow you're sharp, but you're smart enough to be doing this the right way. You're smart enough, sharp enough to if you see something that works better, to know whether it's a big enough sample size that it actually does, or it's just random small sample size without statistical significance. Again, most of you, all of you, I'm sure, could know the difference. And like I just want you to profit. So if you find a way that's more efficient for you, or easier, or less stressful, or like I'm just going to bet 0.5% on everything, or 1% on everything, and then that for me is good, have at it. Again, that's fine. The only thing you can't do is overbet. That's where we run into trouble. Do I recommend playing other wager talk capper client plays following your bet sizing? No, I don't. Honestly, I wouldn't ever tell another capper like how they should run their business, or what their goals may be different than mine. Their approach could be different than mine. Their ways of profiting could be different than mine. So I like what they tell their subscribers to do and how they do it must work for them if they're still in business, and if they're still selling well, or if they're winning. I mean, stuff's documented. So if they're winning, what they're doing obviously must work for them. And I wouldn't urge them to change that and follow my bet sizing. I tell this is what works for me based on how I bet, and I have a big sample of history that makes me feel comfortable. I'm doing it the right way for me. Again, I don't know how to put it. I can't tell any other capper how they should urge the people that trust them to bet size. Because again, if a guy's telling you to bet 10% on every play and you've made money with him the last 5 years, who am I to tell him different? Now, if he's telling you to bet 5% on a play and he hasn't had a winning year, maybe they should try this out, the 0.25, 0.50. Yeah, I guess that's the best way to answer that. My 4% bet size is 1,000. All right, is 100. Excuse me. All right, so you got a 10 dime bankroll. You're sitting. That's a good bankroll, man. And think of it. Oh, you're already up 6. If you started with the beginning of the year, forget it. You haven't, but we could still do the math for it if you haven't. You're up like 6 dimes, man. If you took 1,000 of that and went and had fun with it with your family, you know, a $15,000 bankroll, I would still stay betting the same and wait till it gets to shit. Let's hope we get that to 20, 22,000, 25,000 by the end of the year. Next thing you know, bro, you ain't betting 100 on a 4% play. You're betting 200 on a 4% play next year. And that's just around the corner. That's 5 months away. And next year, for 12 months, you're going to be betting double what you're betting right now. And guess what? Those next 12 months are going to pass just as fast as these last 12. We repeat that, you're at 400. That's just how it happens. If I'm releasing a minus 125, am I laying the 25? Yes, you are. Yes, I am. My results are based on laying the extra 25, Scott. So if I give out, if you have a $10,000 bankroll and a 4% play is a $100 bet, and I give you a minus 150, you're betting $150. That's how my results are graded. And like I said, if you're not comfortable doing that, if your risk tolerance is lower, then do what makes you comfortable. But I think I chose a low enough scale where I'm not asking people to take big risks. 1.25 of bankroll and 5%. I don't think I'm pushing anyone far out on that risk curve. I think it's within the means of anyone where they shouldn't sweat it. It's a nice score when you win. It sucks when you lose, but it's not going to make or break your life, your week, your month. That's the goal. Yes. On a minus 200 favorite, and I'm so glad you asked that. I know. Listen, I know it stings. It stings me when I lay minus 200. When I handicap a minus 200 or one of the groups I work with sends me a minus 200 and it's very strong, and I know I to do the right thing, this needs to be a 4% play, I'm betting 8,000 of my money. That's a lot of money for me. From somewhere where I'm from, like that's a lot of fucking money. I do not take that lightly at all. I'm very, and I know with MMA we've laid some chalk, we've lost with some chalk. Even with baseball, we've won with some nice dogs here and there too. I know it stings. And I know when you're not running hot also, like when you're running cold, it's even scarier. Like, now I could lose even more. I know that. But the way I have to approach it is not worry about how I'm running and just stay robotic. Stay robotic with my choices. Don't let my emotions dictate any opinion, any decision I make. Do not let my emotions dictate my choices. It will not benefit me, because remember, the one thing we are doing is taking advantage of human nature. I hate to put it that way, but that's exactly how we're winning. Betting is a zero-sum game. Someone's got to lose for someone else to win. That's just how it goes. And we profit because others lose more than they win. Because of that, we're able to win more than we lose, because they disrupt the market and make it inefficient, and we're able to take advantage of those inefficiencies. So again, I understand a 4% play at minus 250. If you have a $10,000 bankroll, that means 1% of that, and you're like, shit, I'm betting freaking 200 to win 100. I know, I understand. Believe me, I take that very seriously. So yes, that is what that means. You heard it correctly. Minus 200 favorite, we're betting the exact same way as if it was minus 110, plus 115. It doesn't make a difference, because for us, we don't look at price, we look at value. Bettors, recreational bettors, losing bettors, they look at price. They bet price. We don't, we bet value. Price is irrelevant to us. I'll lay minus 1,500 if I think it should be minus 2,000. And because I manage risk correctly, I can do that. If you manage risk correctly, you can't do that. You're not going to have the bankroll to do that. That's why it's so important, and I take so much time on this and less time on the actual picks right now at this juncture, because without this, the picks coming in during football, all the information is not going to matter. It will not matter. There's going to come a time where you don't have the bankroll, and you're not going to make the right choices. You're going to have to pick, oh, which 3 am I going to put in this week? Like, don't get yourself in that position. I'm always conscious of what we're up for the year, what we're up or down for the month, what we're up or down for the week. I'm very conscious of those as I'm creating my daily card. I know what you guys are dealing with. Believe me, I'm very sensitive to that. I don't want you to lose more than you should in any small period of time. So I try to even get ahead of that. And that's why I say, don't sweat the chalk. And no, I love the question too. Like, see, again, that we bet the Cubs Reds under last night, and it was a very high scoring game. And we're back today with an even bigger bet on that under. Here's what I could tell you with certainty, that yesterday's bet is irrelevant on tonight's under at all. The fact that we went over, we went under. Like, it's not a chase like that. Now, because the series is going over, it's gonna do to go under. Nothing is due. Like, and even especially this series, if you look at this series, I don't think they've had an under yet this year, and they played like 8 or 9 times already. So it's not due. It's I swear to you, every matchup is approached independently. That's if you're doing it the right way, that's how you should be doing it. And a perfect example of that was UFC 290, where I liked all three dogs in the main card: main event, co-main event, and the fight right before that. And my square brain told me, what are the chances all three dogs are going to win in a row? And then the main and the co-main, all the last three fights are all going to be dog, dog, dog. Dude, that's not going to happen. How many dogs are going to come in? And that's my square brain actually told, that thought crossed my mind. And that's when I have to shake my head, say, what the fuck are you thinking? That has nothing to do with the outcome. The placement on where they are on the card, the price, these fighters, that has nothing to do with what's going to happen at all. And again, just why I'm bringing that up is to say that I understand, like, when we see something, a pattern like that, we automatically think, yes, sir, Yair, Duplessis, Pantoja. Yeah, yes, perfect. Those were the three. And honestly, my square brain was like, dude, what are the chances? I said, dude, you can't think like that just because they're in succession. You got to practice what you preach. And that's why I got scared with this under. You see, dude, there's some 10s out there because it's that sharp on the under. There's a handful, even though this series has been an over series, these pitchers' ERAs, this game sets up for an under. And there's a lot of sharp opinion that the market reflects, agree with us. That's why we're on the under. And again, what I do with baseball, obviously, because most of the baseballs are ours. But yeah, now seeing Pinnacle is at 9, as at 10, with the over -109, the under -104. Even DraftKings is at 10. Okay, we made a good bet. Listen, the card's going to fall where they may. We can't go out there and play for them or anything like that. But I can promise you, the factors are in our favor for this game to end under 10.5 runs. And with the market where it sits now, I like the bet even more. That much I can promise you. So I love it. And you should, Kyle, you should be reverse engineering. You should be looking at the picks. Exactly, you're doing it right. And being like, what's the reasoning behind this? We went over. Is this a regression to the mean? Like, okay, now they're due. And that's it. It is a little bit. I don't want to say it's not, because we are looking at an inflated total because of how the series of these two teams have gone. So I think, yeah, I would actually say, yes, this is a regression. Again, you can't time those in the short term, but it does fall under that, where they've outperformed the market in one direction so much. You do expect the rubber band to come back. Now, it may not come back instantly. It could come back over their next 30 games they play each other. You start seeing more unders than over, so that when you look at the 80 games between the two, it's a lot closer to 50-50, which is what the books ultimately want. You either balance the result or you balance the money. That's how you make money bookmaking. They either want the result to be balanced, meaning at -10, team A wins 50% of the time, team B wins 50% of the time, or if they could balance the money. Since they can't balance the money more times than not, what they're trying to do is balance the result. And that's why you see the lines move, get adjusted, and a lot of times what happens is they're shading it towards biases of recreational bettors also, which gives us even more value. What I mean by that is, if they know that in NFL, perfect example, Sunday night game, two high-profile teams, high-scoring offenses, the book understands that they're probably going to need the under. Even if the sharp money bets under, they're probably going to end up needing the under. The straight bets from the public's going to be on the over. Parlays from earlier in the day are going to be on the over. Teasers from earlier in the day are going to be tied into the over. So they're going to have a ton of risk on the over, which means they're probably going to shade the number so that those over bettors aren't getting the best of it. If the total should be 52, they're going to push it up to 53.5. Now, all of a sudden, they're not balancing the result and getting 4.5%. They skewed the result to where the bettors are taking the worst of it, and now they're getting a 6-7% hold on the bets. That's why they end up making every month more than 4.5%. So excellent question, and more important, excellent English is my second language, so sometimes I struggle with grammar. But observation, excellent observation. Love it. Love what you just did there, Kyle. Love it. Should I be worried about getting limited by taking off market numbers? I find many MMA. So, no, take them. Sherlock, I love the question. You're probably, I'm not sure what book you're playing with. If you're beating them to line moves, you're probably going to get limited or shut down, but that's not reason enough not to beat them. The only time you worry about that is if you're worried about getting paid. As long as it's a legit book, beat them. Because the good thing is in 2023, there's so much competition, you'll find outs. You could beat these guys up if you find a weak book. Don't worry as much about preservation. Now, if it's a credit account, that's different. My credit accounts, I do that. I sometimes I cool them off, meaning if I beat one guy 3 straight weeks badly, I'm going to make sure I don't try to bury him. And what I do is maybe not give him the 4 or 5% plays, 3% plays, maybe give him something, the smaller stuff for a week or two. Maybe throw in even a parlay or teaser, which he knows is negative EV, so I could keep it going. I've done that, but I've teased key numbers, so it's not negative EV for us, obviously. Or even scalp, like you said, off market numbers. I'll take it off market here and then bet the other side with him, hoping I lose the other side, hoping the side with him loses, and then I just pick up on the other side. And I'm more or less middling and scalping, sometimes even losing a little big to keep a good credit account open. That's the cat and mouse game. I'm hoping most of you don't run into that problems, especially this early on. So I say if you find minus 138, minus 140 on a minus 175, you bet it, man. And that's on them. Again, as long as you're not worried, they're gonna not pay you for beating them to the numbers. That's the game. That's the goal. Because we're gonna do that a lot. Fortunately, but unfortunately, it gets you backed off and kicked out. But it's going to happen a lot. Like it's nothing you're going to be able to really stop from happening. Like again, all the public money in the world is on the over 10.5 tonight. They were betting 10.5s over, let alone 10 over. They were betting at 10.5 over from this morning. So and still the respect that we get because of the long-term results, you see it's 10 out there. So it's pretty hard to hide that stuff. Have you ever seen any bettors you work with try to get down on props on the Hall of Fame game? Let me look if they have any props. Let me check for you, actually. No, let me look if my book has props, the best one, actually. The guy that has the most stuff on his menu. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they would really. I mean, maybe a big like a marquee type prop. I don't think there'd be a lot of player props because I don't think they would even risk knowing how long the players are going to play. I think that would be the worry there. Yeah, none of my. I see regular season player totals and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't remember ever playing props. I don't even think I remember doing any props in preseason, except like consider first half totals or team totals props. That's probably the team total is probably the biggest prop we'll have during football. With that said, if I see anything come across, fuck yeah, you're getting it. And speaking of that, because we are approaching the hour, let me tell you what's on the radar right now. 15 minutes till the Yankees game. Yankees were a possible bet, and under in Oakland Dodgers is also on the radar. We're going to wait on that. Another group bet me. Oh no, that game went off. Okay. So yeah, the only thing we're waiting on is, let me look at my card again. I know we like Pittsburgh in under and the Cubs in under. So yeah, those are all premium, right? Let me just double check. I make sure I gave you what I love the most. Cubs in under, Pittsburgh in under, and then we have the Hall of Fame game with the Jets plus 2.5. Got a good number, right? Had a great number on the Jets, and that moved. And that's, again, keep in mind, preseason lines are going to move. If you miss it, don't worry about it. Let it go. There'll be another one. If it's not a key number, I will say in preseason, you could give yourself a little more leeway, meaning if we lay -8 and it's -9, or you know, if I lay 8.5 and it's -9.5, I would actually, like a trusted group had me get down -8.5 and I saw -9.5, that wouldn't stop me in preseason, actually, believe it or not, if I felt real strongly about the side. Now, I would probably bet a little less, but I would, in preseason, I would still bet it. The variance in scoring is, I think you'll see how the lines move, and that variance allows for that. And that's why I'm saying you're going to see some big line movements. Don't get discouraged. You'll beat plenty of them. You'll miss a handful of them. There's a whole season ahead. There's a whole season ahead. We will be betting in the preseason. Historically, it's been profitable. But it comes down to also getting decent numbers in preseason. Now, tonight, let's look at this game where it's at. Okay, Jets are -2, and we got them plus 2.5. Like, in this situation, I would probably just let it go. If I was just today getting the play, if just today I signed up and I looked and it was -2 and I had plus 2.5, I wouldn't bet it. For what? I'm not betting from a position of strength. Sure, the Jets, if Gianni hits his 2.5, I'm probably going to hit mine. They're probably not going to lose by 1 or 2, or it's not going to tie. So, you know, I could probably bet the Jets money line, and if he wins, I'll win too. But you're not betting from a position of strength. And remember, if you're in this room, you're here to profit. We're not here to be right. I'm not, at least. I'm not trying to be right. I'm not trying to pick the right side. We're trying to find inefficient betting numbers, take advantage of them before someone that also wins sees it, and rinse and repeat over and over and over again. And along the way, you're going to get sharper and sharper and sharper and find ways to pick off some moves of your own. And again, I will repeat, the best way I would tell any new guy getting into sports betting, I would say put away the magazines, turn off the preview shows, put that shit aside. All that you're going to read is baked into the cake. All that you're going to watch is baked into the cake. They are not going to share any tidbits of information that the odds maker doesn't know or isn't already factored into season win totals and week 1 lines. In fact, those lines have been up for so many months and have been picked apart by every sharp bettor on the planet. So you need to know that going in. That is number 1. So again, I almost lost my train of thought there because something's coming in. Hold on 1 second. And this is going to be happening during football. Hold on. The Yankees. Come on. Oh, wow. Okay, hold on. I just got to put on the glasses to see this. Hold on. It's AAA. If you guys could bet it, starts in 10 minutes. Buffalo Bison, Lehigh Valley. Buffalo Bison, Lehigh Valley. Over 11.5, -120. Over 12, -110. Over 12, -110. They're willing to take. That's the AAA baseball. Let me look. AAA. Lehigh Valley and Buffalo. Yep. Lehigh Valley, Buffalo. Over 11.5, minus 120. Over 12, even money, up to minus 110. Wow, I love it. Okay. I'm going to have to go to out as a premium, guys, because I think a lot of guys may have trouble with it, and it's only 15 minutes, and some this group and their AAA baseball. If you guys were with me last summer, you remember what they did to AAA baseball. All right. Bison Lehigh, wow, 12.5. I got to pay 120 to get over 12. Over 12 minus 120, that's too much. It's too much. See, they call me sleeping, man. Now these move real fast. They move fast. It's okay. We get them. They ain't going nowhere. This stuff comes in all the time, guys, all the time. And like I said, during football, what's going to be popping up are props like that. The FBS, FCS, whatever the hell that nonsense is, the lower leagues, college football. And a lot of that stuff's good. Like, take the trades. If you get the number, anything that I share is coming from winning groups. Like, if you have the discipline to fire even just just make them 2% plays for you. You know what I mean? Just make them all 2% plays, 0.5%. And bet those, just flat bet them all. The AAA shit, or like I said, when football season comes and those Kennesaw States pop up on my screen, if you have your computer open and you're logged into the book, dude, you're going to make money. Like, I can't use them for premiums because it's customer service would get such, like, they'd be tied up with people asking what to do. This moved 3 points, this moved it. So it's not even worth it. But I bet them, just so you understand. I bet them because they're profitable year in, year out. So you definitely want to be using that. Look, if you can. Mario, I think Bet Online, you're good. I don't know about Bovada, about limiting. Bet Online, you're good. He does a good job of even short bettors, giving them the limits. That from at least what I know. Again, I haven't worked with them because you have to post. And like I said, I do 90+% now on credit accounts, so I could use my capital to do other things. But I would be betting into Bet Online for sure because of that. And I know guys that do bet into them, and he takes their action. So yeah, I would definitely say Bet Online. What other one? Let me look for you real quick. Go to Bet Online. I don't know if Bookmaker would let you play. Yeah, I know these smaller ones, they just want people that lose. Unfortunately, that's all they want, bettors that lose. And there's such a big pool of them that they don't even want to mess with people like us. But they have to. That's the beauty. There's so many books, and on top of it, especially if you could go into the book, like, they ain't gonna stop you from betting. But I know it's a hassle. I know, Mario, it's a hassle. The only thing I would say is Bet Online. I would do look at the bigger books, and even like if you can get the Bodog accounts and Bookmakers and all that, as long as they last, because they're not going to beat you. That's the good thing. 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, I wouldn't have been as confident to even reply to your question, because I wouldn't want you to get burned. Like, there was no recourse. They didn't have to pay you back then, and there's nothing you're going to do. Who are you going to, especially 20 years ago, who are you going to tell? There's no Twitter, there's no nothing. Like, if they just told you you're not getting paid and you logged into your account and it had said $0, your recourse was zero. What are you going to do? Call the Bahamian government? You know what I mean? Like, there's no recourse. And believe me, there's a lot of books that did that. But today, they're not stiffing people. They're just cutting them off, the bigger ones. So I would stick with the bigger ones. And, you know, we have family. If you have, I wouldn't say close. There's some people, some of us have close enough friends we could trust with an account in their names. But I would keep it to family. And even then, you know, make sure it's close family. I've used names in the past to have to get down. It happens. Any additional picks for tonight? Yankees are on the radar, but that doesn't look like we're going to get any added confirmation. The risk. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, hold on. Thank you for asking that. Yeah, we're going to find, ready? Here we go. Yankees, up to minus 105, 3% play. New York Yankees, 964. New York Yankees, 964. Let me see. You should be able to get 3% play, minus 108, minus 105, minus 102. Let's go minus 105. That's fair. That's fair. New York Yankees, 964. 105. 3% play. All right. Hold on. Let me send that out. Again, I know you guys, it's a little tough getting late stuff. They only got 12 minutes. I try not to do that, but this just got confirmed. And I'm glad we were actually talking about games. And we got it right when it came across, so we didn't miss anything, as you could tell by the line. But with that said, I don't like sending late because I know not everyone's at their computer. Some people are at work. Some people may be driving. And if that's ever the case, then just let it go. Like if you're like, oh, wait, you know, I know it sucks if it ends up winning. It's going to happen. Like I miss trades all the time. This morning, I missed 2 day trades that both of them, bam, winners, instant winners when they hit their trend line. They bounced like supposedly, and I left money on the table. That's going to happen. There'll be the next trade. There'll be the next trade. The key is placing good bets. You place good bets, good things happen. Place good bets, good things happen. Place good bets, good things happen. I could not say that any clearer. Place bad bets, eventually bad things are going to happen. The only other play on the radar, if you get it, it'll come before 10 p.m. Eastern, is Oakland Dodgers under 8.5. What we were holding off on is the possibility of it going to 9 because it's the only like 7 o'clock game tonight, a Pacific time. And a lot of times that's the chase when there's only that one game. Again, because there's football, that probably won't happen tonight. But I still thought it was a possibility that we'd get 9. So that's why it's on the radar. At 9, we're going under. At 8.5, something else is going to have to come in to push us over the finish line, or else we're not going to bet that. That's not what we do. Hold on. All right. Now let me go else. What else we have to cover real quick? Yeah, and please remember, guys, hope is not a hedge. Like this time is different, doesn't exist. Like things are, it will end the same. Please, if you've messed up, I even made a note of it. That's why I'm bringing it up again. If you messed up any time last week because we had a losing week, if you bet a little more on a 4% or 5%, or you tried to get it back on Sunday. Well, Sunday we did good. So if you did that, it worked out well for you. Don't do it again. But if you lost more than you should, please, 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 it's your chance to cover up that hole, let it fucking go, and move on to better things. Hold on, the shit's coming in. Wait till football. It's going to be crazy. Okay, yeah, that was. Okay, let's look at this football real quick. What's the total? Hold on, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry, we're gonna have some dead silence at times when I have to do a little work. I'll be sharing my screen, don't worry. So you'll be seeing shit that I'm doing. Yeah, no. Okay, no. Yeah, it's not. I was checking the total to because Penny has 34. There's 33 and a halves, and I wanted to try to see why they went to 34. But when I saw what the juice was, it makes sense now, and especially since they were at 33 and a half with juiced ups. Okay, nothing we could take advantage of. Because again, this is what I was getting to before the Yankees play came in. The best way for new bettors to learn to get an edge is learn to read the market, learn to understand what the line moves actually mean. There's few things as important than understanding the market. I know so many guys that are profitable because they understand the betting market and line moves, and very little about sports, where the opposite's true, where I don't know anyone that knows so much about sports but nothing about the betting market and is able to profit betting them. Like, that doesn't understand line moves and doesn't understand books that originate, books that copy, books that move on air, books that have an opinion. Like, those little nuances matter a lot to having success. So make sure, if you have time to learn the handicap, put some time into monitoring line moves. Opening line, closing line for sure. And if you could monitor what happened in between, a lot of things will open up to you, especially if you're monitoring multiple books, meaning you're monitoring a book like Pinnacle, where they originate. Bet Online originates some of their stuff. Even Circa originates some of their stuff for people here in town. If you could monitor what they're doing, there's a lot you will learn. There's a lot you will learn just from monitoring their line moves. All right, let me see. Oh, another question someone had. Why don't we have more 4 and 5% plays right now during baseball, especially since we're winning? We're up over 100 units, and our ROI is the highest out of every sport. I don't know if that's true, but that's what he wrote. It may be. I don't know anymore. So I'm just looking at the lines right here. Okay. Here's why. Because they play 162 games in baseball, and there's one factor that we cannot quantify, but in many circumstances, we know it exists. And that factor, metric, which we can't measure, is called motivation. When you play 162 games, I can't confirm motivation, even if it's a divisional game. Like, just because the Dodgers are playing San Francisco in the middle of July, I can't confirm with certainty that both teams, every player on that field, is in the mindset of, we're here to win this game tonight. They play 162 games. In football is a little different. Every game, 4 games is a quarter of your season. Like, a team's showing up. Like, whether they're good or bad, they're motivated. Again, with baseball, I've met baseball players. You've seen them out. They tend to take some leisure time during the season because it's a long ass season. And because of that, I don't have the confidence to confirm a 5% play as easily as I would when I know that factor is not something I need to concern myself with. Meaning when I bet a Monday Night Football game, I know they're both there they're showing up, more times than not, or else I wouldn't be betting the 5% play. What I'm saying is with baseball, it's hard to judge that motivation, except very early in the season, that first month where everyone's gung-ho, the season started, and the playoffs. When the playoffs roll around, you'll see pretty much every bet we place will be a 4% play. If I remember correctly, we'll have very few 3%, almost no 2%, and there'll be 4s and 5s because our playoffs offer us the biggest edge because that market is saturated with the most public money, coupled with I know just how motivated both teams are to win. That's the reason. Again, for me, it's better for me to give out 5% plays every week. That's where the money is in the pick selling business. But yeah, that's not what we're here to do. That's not what we're here to do. And finally, I wanted to add, listen, if because someone sent in a message that was awesome, and he said he missed the NASCAR bet because it went off, but he was able to bet it live and still got something like 15-1, over 10-1 on his win. That's taking the information and using it. That's what I'm here to do, share the information with you. I'm also giving you the bet sizes to follow to turn that profit. But again, you're sharp. You guys aren't here by accident. You're smart people. If something like that happens, do exactly that. Sit back. You missed the game. If I have like team A -3, and you're like, shit, I missed that. But you turn it on and you're like, dude, they're down 7. Wow, now I could get them plus a touchdown. Ace bet a -3. Yeah, maybe you want to take that bet. I'm not telling you what to do. What I'm telling you is instead of getting pissed that you missed the start of the game and the bet, see if you could still take advantage of the information before you get pissed about that. Because a lot of times you'll find yourself in a much better position by missing betting the play before the game starts. It's happened to me with trades where we're supposed to short at $1 at $32.50. I miss it, and now it goes to $33.50. Oh shit, I'm going to short it. They shorted it $1 lower than me. I'm sure as hell going to short it $1 higher now. I'm getting a better number than them. So yeah, if you could get better numbers than me, do it, number one. And number two, if you could use the information live, hell yeah, that's gangster. It's exactly what you should be doing if you miss something. So let me see if we got any more questions. And also, again, we're getting there. Football, everybody for some reason chose this week to sign up and last week to sign up. We're getting to where we're filling up, like filled up. Anyone that's in here that wants to close up the year, hit them up, like seriously, and work out a deal. I'm sure they're going to credit you for your time. Keep that between us, that you've been involved in the program, and get something long term so that, again, I'm not trying to lock you in. Paying monthly makes me the most money. But what I'm trying to do is increase your ROI by making your overhead as low as possible. And the less you're paying for information, the more profit you have. Again, I know it sucks coming out of pocket all at once, but I'm telling you, I did it myself. That's why I urge others to do it with me, even though I shouldn't be saying that. Anyway, I have a 10K bankroll and am able to add to it from another source. Would you recommend a minimum to add to it? For example, I could add, no, James, I would wait. Because adding 1,000 to a 10,000 bankroll, I wouldn't increase my bet size. I would not increase my bet size again until I increased my bankroll by at least 50%. And I stabilized a little bit there. Like I didn't just shoot up to 50%. I got to 50% and I survived, stayed around 50% and then moving towards higher. Then I would adjust. that's why adding, an extra 10% is great. It gives you more of a cushion. And when you do increase in a few months, your bankroll will be bigger because of that 1,000. But I wouldn't add that 1,000 tonight and tomorrow morning say I'm going to bet now based on an $11,000 bankroll. There's no need to do that. You're fine with 10. Trust me, you're fine with 10. And doing that at when we get the 15 by winning, or you're able to add. That's the way to do it. And please, 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 I know we all want to get there as fast as we can. But as far as increasing bet sizing, that will happen as our profit increases. And like I said, I love adding from other sources. That's what I did to get there quicker. But you don't have to do that. If you have a bankroll like you have a 10 dime bankroll, dude, you're gonna make money off it. Like you made 7 dimes from the beginning of the year. If you had an 11,000 bankroll, it wouldn't be much more. You know what I mean? What, 10% more, 5% more? Again, what was 10%, 10,000? So, and again, I know that's a lot of money, but I just think it's better to exercise that patience and think longer term. That's why, like I say, I'm not trying to lock anyone in long term. That's why I'm not telling you to sign up for the year. But I'm saying, if you don't think deterministically, if you know going in that I'm going to be patient and I'm just going to trust in the math and know that in time, as long as I practice what I preach, the results are going to reflect my bankroll. And that's what's going to happen. Nothing's going to stop that from happening, except, again, making a mistake. I've only lost money when I've made a mistake. So yeah, that's the best advice I could give as far as the guys that are asking if there's any coupon codes, any specials. Yeah, please. Like I said, Gianni is there to work with anyone that wants to work with me. I've given him the green light to get you guys the best deal possible for longer term, because I want it to cost you less so that you make more. I swear that's my goal. I want you to make more money. And any way we can help that happen, I'm for it. And Gianni has the green light to deal with you guys and make sure you're in a position to profit. Again, man, I'm on your team. I'm on your team. And there's going to be times where we're celebrating nothing but winning. There's going to be times where, listen, you're going to have to rewind and say, listen, that was a tough week, or that was a sucky month. And it sucks. I know one wants to be there. But what you can't forget, and these are words to live by, when in doubt, zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. That has saved me so many times. When I was about to do the wrong thing, I zoomed out. And what did I see as I zoomed out? The clear picture. And the clear picture is 300 units almost, 270 plus units in only 7 months. We got 5 months to go, the best 5 months. Listen, if you missed those last 7 months, that's okay. You're going to have 7 months under your belt too, in no time. We will repeat this over and over again. That's what we do, baby. That's what we do. So thank you. I love you guys. Now, next, here's what we're going to do. Because football's coming, and we're going to start adding, there's going to be 2 a days, 2 a weeks. I'm telling you now, I'm committed to making sure this is the room to be in during football season. And when you see the information we have access to, you're going to understand what I'm talking about. Again, I usually underplay things so I don't set myself up for failure, but I know I've never done this before where I've given access like this to, and I know if you're a bettor, you're going to love what we're doing come Saturdays and Sundays during football season. Definitely Sundays, every Sunday, but we're going to try to add some Saturdays in there as well, especially when there's a good UFC card. And we have playoff baseball. There'll be a game 7s on a Saturday where there's also college football. So we're going to take up that as well. So next week, I have a little traveling to do, coupled with the Start a Contender series and 2 UFC on the Line shows. That stuff is never interfered, obviously, with my work. I do this every day. But what I'm getting at is I think that the best thing to do is skip next week and come back the following week. Yeah, I think that's the best move, unless we hold it like next Saturday, this chat. I think the best thing to do is, or you know what? Let me think on that. What do you guys think? Do you want to have one next Saturday, or do you want to pass on a week? And like I said, with 2 weeks coming up, tell me right now what you say. You want to have one next Saturday or not? If you do, I will have it for you. If not, like I said, I'm traveling a little bit, and I wouldn't mind anyone. Oh, they're going to leave it up to me. All right. I like it. I don't mind it. You know, listen, since we're all cool and we could just reach out, we're just going to play by ear. The goal, like I said, I want consistency. That's my key. That's my goal. Consistency, practice, repetition. That's why I'm almost afraid to skip a week. I'm almost afraid for my own, even if we log in for 10 minutes just to do our calisthenics, I think we may have to do it. And there's probably going to be some UFC and more importantly, some NFL preseason. So you know what? Yeah, I think we're going to do it next Saturday. I think we're going to go, oh, shit. Okay, there's some questions. Here we go. Okay, hold on. Let me go through these, scroll through one last time, these questions, because there's a bunch I missed. Wow. Okay. Yes, James, that's it. And you could do it with the run. Exactly. Sometimes, honestly, I've done that with the trades, with the day trading group that I work with, where especially if we're not running hot, like I won't get in on the first level. And I'll miss some trades because it'll bounce where expected, and they'll get out of the trade in 5 minutes and make 1 or 2% on a shitload of money. It's a lot of money. But by sitting out, sometimes it'll go through the first level, and then I'm able to get in at a better price than they did. And it's worked out well for me. So I like that. Yeah, if any time you miss a play or you miss a number, keep that play in your back pocket. If we bet it, then that's the side I'm on. Like a lot of times people will even ask me and DM me, if a line moves 2 points, 3 points, what are you doing? What do you think I'm doing? If I send out another play, you'll know about it. But I placed my bet. I don't do this. Like I do this for real. If I send out a play, it's because I bet it. And since I already bet it, what can I do? It moved on me. I now have a worse bet than I could have had. It sucks. I don't like it either. But I can't erase it. I can't call the book and say I didn't mean to do it. You know what I mean? I just got to eat it and hope the best. But that's what I love that so many are saying that they've taken advantage of that. And that's exactly what you should be doing tonight. Jets plus 2.5. If you don't have, if let's say you were driving, because I know that probably didn't last all that long, and you looked and it was a pick 'em, and you're like, I waited, and now shit, now they're -2, forget it. It never went back the other way. Watch the first quarter. What happens if they go down 3-0? You get a better line than me if you want the game, if you want the bet. Wait till halftime. And like I said, I already have the ticket. I'm not getting out of it. I'm in the bet. I want the same outcome. So yeah, just if you miss it, do what I do. Write it down, keep it in the back pocket, and keep an eye on the screen. You may look up and be like, oh shit, boom, bullseye. I got a better number and a better price and a winner. So Yeah, for sure. I definitely suggest that. Let me see what else last there. We do it together, Kyle. That's it. We win together and we lose together, but more importantly, we're going to profit together. We're going to beat the books together. And when December 31st rolls around, we will be in that 1% that says, you know what, we beat our bookie in 2023. We have positive earnings in 2023. And you know what, 2024 is going to be even better because we have another year of experience and knowledge that no one could take from you under your belt. You're only going to become sharper. You will only become more efficient at what you're doing. You'll only be getting your bets down faster. You'll only be getting better numbers. You'll only manage risk fucking more efficiently. You will just get better at this each and every week, each and every bet you place. Yeah, the boys want next Saturday. Next Saturday it is. Fuck it. Flying trips, it don't matter. I'll do it in an airport. We'll do it in a hotel room. Yeah, we need to do it. I got to work out. How are we going to perfect that spinning back kick if we don't keep doing repetitions? How will that spinning back fist become like breathing if we don't practice it over and over and over again? So yes, next Saturday we will be here again on Saturday. Oh, I think I'll be back home by Saturday. Yeah, so we're doing it anyway. I'm fine. We're doing it Saturday. It is next Saturday. It is. That's confirmed. Oh wow, everyone's like, now you guys want to take a week off? All right, listen. Here's what we're gonna do. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, we're doing that. There is that. Next week is the up. This is the 5th, the 12th. Yeah, it's Luque dos Anjos here in Vegas. Oh, but that's that. You know what? Listen, guys, sorry. Listen. That's also that convention thing here in Las Vegas, which is that Bet Bash, I think it's called. And there's people that are guys that are coming in from out of town that I need to meet with. There's even some outs that I need to definitely hook up with while they're here. So we're probably going to do that. Let's do that next week. I promise you, I will make it up during football. We will do Saturdays and Sunday many times. But yeah, let's do that next week. I promise me on your own. You will at least recite it one time. At least one time, recite it or write it down one time for me. 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1%, 1.25. Please promise me you'll do that next week. Just just take 5 minutes one of the days. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds nuts. Just please, anything, while you're fucking sitting there at a red light, just run it through your head. You don't even have to write it down. Just please say 0.25, 0.50. 0.75, 1%, 1.25. That's what I bet. That's how I win. That's what I bet. That's how I win. And don't fucking change that. Please do your exercises. We will meet up the week right after. We will be in preseason football. We will be anticipating the start of college football. Pretty much all our futures will be in action because, again, I'm not going to tie up much of your bankroll. I promised you that in season win totals and shit like that. We're going to be rolling it over many times during the season instead. Oh, wow. See, now we're getting back and forth. Let's just play by ear. For right now, we're going to pass. Okay. Fuck it. It's official right now. Next Saturday morning, we're doing an hour. Let's go. I'll confirm the time right after the weekend. We'll do it. I don't care whether it's Bet Bash, whether what it is. That you're right. That's it. Fuck it. We're doing it. Next Saturday it is. Even for an hour, just so we do our exercises I'm accountable to you on how we did for the week. More importantly, we rewind. Yes, we have to do that. Absolutely. You're right. We got to rewind. I need to be accountable for this past 7 days. We'll see how they turn out. Prepare for the 7 that's coming ahead of us, and be here, more importantly, to answer any question you have. Just keep in mind, we're going to do it a faster chat next one. This one went an hour and a half. We'll try to keep it to 60 minutes because, again, I'll be doing 3 different, 4 different, 5 different sports that day, probably, of markets, and I want to get downtown sometime in the evening, if not go to the Apex and watch the UFC. But I don't want to leave you guys hanging. You're committed to me, I'm committed to you. That's the bottom line. You put your trust and you show up here like this, I'm going to fucking show up for you. Work, fly, it don't matter. Next Saturday is official. We will have our chat. Until then, please, bet size the right way. We will get right back to grinding and profiting. All my attention is right here on you guys being profitable. I promise me, you have me on your side, and I will bust my ass every fucking day for you and make sure I'm giving you the strongest stuff I have. And you know, I'm backing my opinion and my plays with my own money. I'm just looking real fast in case anything else came in. Let me just make sure that Dodgers, we didn't bet under, we didn't confirm anything. All right, Pittsburgh's up 1-0. That's why I don't like looking at updates. Okay. So I don't know if any of you like the Angels tonight. It's sharp. It's sharp. It's sharp. Angels are sharp. I'm not going to bet it. Yeah, I'm not going to touch it. I think I'm watching a group now. I'm in a chat thing. And yeah, they're betting. Wow. They're betting both favorites late. They're betting the Angels and they're betting the Twins. They're betting the Angels and the Twins. Honestly, I didn't have a strong opinion either way. It's not the group that I would follow blindly myself. But again, both are definitely sharp plays. Wow, okay. They're taking 135, 130. Okay. Yeah, nothing for us. I'm good. Again, if I just shared that, just in case if one of you had a strong opinion on that side, at least you know now there's some sharp guys that agree with you, or if you're on the other side, there's some sharp guys that disagree with you. Again, you use the information how you like. I'll just try to share as much as I can with you. Yeah, I'm not touching either of those. We're good. We're good. We got our bets tonight. We're going to meet again next Saturday. We have a lot of stuff over this next week. We have a bunch of baseball. We have MMA this weekend. And of course, remember, I send out football as I confirm it, whether it's for week 1, whether it's for week 0. These lines have been up for months. Week 1 is different than the rest of the season. Week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5 will be different. But these lines have been up for months. I know everyone's excited to bet football. I know everyone can't wait for week 1 and to have action. That is the worst week to bet. I'm telling you now, that is the worst week to bet because the lines have been up the longest, been scrutinized the most. You will find the least inefficiencies in those week 1 lines. That's why a lot of bets we're placing this far out, and the rest will probably be game day or that week when the public gets involved and knocks some lines out of whack. That's how we're going to do it. I'm not here to pick winners. I'm here to place good bets. So know during the season, that's how it's going to go down. You get a play. That's why I say make sure you try to have multiple outs. I'm as fair as I could be with the lines, but there are key numbers, and you're going to have to be conscious of those and not take bad numbers. Please, I'd rather you pass. So thank you. thank you again for your time. I don't want to take any more of your time. I love you guys. I'm grateful for you. I appreciate you. I thank you for keeping me in check, keeping me motivated, keeping me accountable. And so this is the best version of myself. Like when I have you guys to answer to, I bring out the best version of myself. And my results reflect that. I need you guys, believe me, as much as you guys depend on me, I depend on you even more so to keep me in check. So thank you. Be safe out there. Take care. Enjoy your loved ones, your time with your family. That matters more than anything else, man. All this shit is secondary. We do this so we can have that freedom to do the stuff that actually matters and spend it time and finances with those that it actually matters. That's why we're doing this shit, man. No other reason. So have fun. Enjoy the week. Let's make some money. Let's grind. And let's make sure tonight's game ends 1-0. That would be great, right? I love you. Have a great night. And cheering that under.